Okay, good morning, Year 5. So, following on from yesterday's lesson where we looked at improper fractions and mixed numbers, okay, we're going to have another look at that today. Another practice session to see if we can really deepen our knowledge before moving on tomorrow during our live lesson. So, yesterday we spoke about fractions and actually what happens when a fraction is larger than one whole. Okay, how we represent that, how we record that. And we spoke yesterday about there being two ways of doing that. We've got improper fractions, which we've said sometimes might have been called top-heavy fractions. So the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay, so meaning that there is more than one whole. So we've got one whole one in here and 2/4 left over we would have. Okay, and that also could be shown as a mixed number. So we've got a whole number and a fraction. So we've got 1 and 2/4. Okay, so if we had a pizza, if this was pizza, we'd have one whole pizza and 2/4 of another pizza. 2/4 could also be a half, couldn't it? So we'd have 1 and a half. So yesterday you looked at some different ways to represent, okay, and convert between improper to mixed numbers. And we looked at some different ways of doing that. Now, in here, we said that whatever the denominator is, okay, we've still got that many parts in each of the whole. So every whole is still split into 4 parts here, okay. In here, we're looking at eighths, and we'll always be looking at eighths. So we're looking, okay, at splitting it into 8 parts. Every single whole that we have becomes an 8 into 8 parts. So up here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarters. Okay. How many quarters equal a whole? Remember, it's always the same, isn't it? We have to match them up. So 4/4 equaled 1 whole. And then how many do we have left over? 3/4. Okay. So we know that 7/4 is the same as 1 and 3/4. So we could write that as a mixed number 1, 1 and 3/4. Okay, is equal to or equivalent to 7/4. Okay, they're the same, they mean the same thing. Now, down here, this represented 27/8. So we went up in eighths. How many whole lots can we get? 8, 16, 24. Okay, so we've got 3 whole lots of 8, and then we had 3 left over, so 3/8 remaining. So that's how we get, okay, 3 and 3/8. So 27/8 can be split into 3 wholes, and we'd have 3/8 left over. 3 and 3/8. So today, your activity, and it's on a worksheet, okay, is looking at representing in different ways. So you've got images here, okay. What is that as an improper fraction? And what is that as a mixed number? Now the important part here is you need to look at, to create your denominator, okay, so to create your denominator you need to look at a whole. Not how many parts are there all together, how many parts are there in one whole. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're talking about quarters in this one. Okay, now how many quarters do we have shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So up here we've got 15 quarters as an improper fraction. As a mixed number, how many wholes have we got? 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 wholes and 1, 2, 3/4 left over. So 3 and 3/4. Okay, so 15/4 is the same as 3 and 3/4. I'd like you to do that for each of those, please. It's really important you remember that you're looking at how many in each whole, okay, not how many all together to find your denominator. So have a go at those, complete those on the worksheet. The next section is you're looking here. So this box here, this column here is really important. That's telling us the improper fraction. And what you have to do for each of these is match, okay, just circle the one that is equivalent to or the same as 13 thirds. Okay, so you could do that by creating a little model, if you like. Okay, so we've got one here. Okay, let's see if I know I'm in thirds. Okay, so each hole has got 3 bits. How many holes can I get then? So 3, 6, 9, 12, and I'm going to have some left over, aren't I? So to get to 13, I'd need all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so now to think about how that will be represented, how many holes did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 whole ones. And how many thirds left over did I have? 1 third. Okay, so up here, 4 and a third. Okay, we would circle. Some of these, there might be more than one that match. Okay, so have a little think, have a look at that, and see what happens with that. There's also, okay, an extension if you get to it today. Don't worry if you don't get to the extension, but an extension. Each of these, there is a simple mistake that has been made. Okay, so have a look at it. What's the mistake been? You have to send this in as a separate picture. Okay, this isn't part of the worksheet. So spot the mistake, send it in. Don't worry about doing the extension. Okay, if you're not completely happy, you're not completely certain about these ones up here, the main focus of these ones here today, okay, on the worksheet, and then the extension is for you to have a go at if you fly through. Okay, I look forward to seeing your work on Class Dojo, and I'll see you later for a live learning journey lesson.